ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear cherished viewers, you are very welcome to the 4th All-African Quran competition. This is the third time we are coming to your screens and we're bringing you a competition of no book less than the Holy Quran itself in the month of Ramadan. And you saw it all when in the first and second episodes we brought to you various competitors who vied with one another, just as the Quran says, to win or to qualify for the semi-finals. We had 10 entries, 10 competitors who managed to go through the first stage of the competition, and today they are in the semi-finals and will be competing with each other from where 5 of these competitors will qualify to the final itself. And ultimately, we will see who carries the day, inshallah, in the final. Viewers, as usual, since the start of the program, I have had with me very learned and, of course, very devoted, members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community who are doing justice to the judgment of these competitors and who are not sparing a single mistake, to go by without being noticed. And they are here with us today to judge the competitors and ensure that those who really deserve to qualify for the to qualify to the final are those who will be qualifying for the final. The first of them, of course, is the respected Hafiz Yunus Omotayo Sahib from Nigeria, and he is a missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Viewers, we also have with us, as usual, Hafiz Khalik Bashir Sahib, and he is also a tutor, a teacher at the Madrasatul Hifz Ghana. But we also have with us Hafiz Maulvi Ismail Ahmed Edusai, who is a missionary of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and the coordinator for MTA Ghana. They will be doing the judging as usual today as well. Viewers, after having introduced the judges, on your screens we will be showing you the list of the 10 participants who qualified for the semi-final. So the names will be displayed on your screen for your viewership, and then we'll proceed with the rest of the program.
ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
Welcome back, Jazakumullahu khairan. So those are the names, 10 people, 10 contestants who qualified out of originally 290 participants. It was sieved down to 30, and from 30, these are the 10 who have qualified for the semi-final today. Without much ado, cherished viewers, we will proceed to our first competitor for today's competition, and he is in the person of Idris Zafrullah from Nigeria.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ضرب الله مثلا عبدا مملوكا لا يقدر على شيء ومن رزقناه منا رزقا حسنا ومن رزقناه منا رزقا حسنا فهو ينفق منه سرا وجهرا هل يستوون الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون وضرب الله مثلا رجلين أحدهما أبكم لا يقدر على شيء وهو كل على مولاه أينما يوجهه لا يأتي بخير هل يستوي هو ومن يأمر بالعدل وهو على صراط مستقيم
MashaAllah, Jazakumullahu khairan to Idris Zafrullah Sahib from Nigeria. I'll just turn to Hafiz Khalik Sahib to, as far as I am concerned, this is so much improvement from the first stage of the competition. Is that so as a judge?
Yes, mashallah, very nice recitation, very beautiful melody. And only one thing I want to mention, bikhair on ra, it was not very well paused. Ra is paused in a round shape, bikhair, but it is paused with little, it was not in round shape. So only this. Otherwise, it is very beautiful.
Let me just take one more, comment from the judges, and I'll go to Hafiz Ismail Ahmed Sahib for. Yes.
This is usually the stage that the tension gets the better of people. I want to commend the composure that this competitor had. He did very well. His stopping and starting was also very much on point.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Viewers, you can hear from the judges, this seems to be a bit of an improvement over the previous stage of the competition. Let us go for our second competitor for the semi-final today. And that will come from Ghana, from Hafiz Fadlul Muqsit. Hafiz Fadlul Muqsit competing from Ghana.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا
MashaAllah, Jazakumullah khairan to Hafiz Fadlul Muqsit Sahib from Ghana. And I will come to Hafiz Yunus Sahib for a comment.
MashaAllah. Very beautiful recitation, and I could observe a sort of insijam, that is harmony, between the pronunciation of the letters and the words, and also the intonation. So they go together in a munsajimun, very harmonized recitation there, mashallah aziz, and also is a pronunciation or application of al-ikhfa in samawati. That's a very beautiful application there, because after tin, the ta there, we have kasrotan, then we now have to, and to is a harfu isti'la, which requires that the application of al-ikhfa there should be heavy, mufakhoman, and he duly applied that. Mashallah. So, mashallah.
I think this is the first time we're having a comment of, a competitor doing justice to some of the ahkam, some of the rules of the Quran. Hafiz up.
He did very well. He did really, really well. Just a little observation. When coming to the end of the recitation, he raised his pitch. It kind of gives an impression that he's going to continue. I was looking for more. I wanted to listen to more because of that, but then he has stopped. So
I think I can relate,
yes,
to this observation. Yes, I also expected more because he was still having a high
yes,
pitch. And so Hafiz Fadl Muqsid, make sure if you are watching, note that and apply that going into the final if you qualify, inshallah. But let's take our next competitor, and that will come from Alimi Taslim Ayomide from Nigeria.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. When the Quran is nicely recited, it always serves as, a medicine to the soul. It consoles the soul, and it makes you feel good. That is what the Quran is. Hafiz Khalik Sahib, any observation?
MashaAllah, very well recited. The letters Ra, Kaf and Qaf are very well pronounced, and we can differentiate in the letters. So MashaAllah, very nice.
MashaAllah. So he did justice to the makharij. You very correctly pronounced the difficult letters that usually trouble some people. MashaAllah, you did well on that. But let me come to Hafiz Yunus Sahib, if just shortly, if there's an observation.
Of course, as he has observed, it was a beautiful recitation. Let me just point out that his pronunciation of the harful lin, that is the ya sukun in ash-shaytan, he pronounced it as ash-shay, and also in kaifa, alam taro kaifa khalaqa Allahu kaifa. So it shouldn't be k. It shouldn't be. There should be known imala to a instead of I. Yes.
So that is an observation that Alimi Taslim Ayomide Sahib, you should note, harful lin. But let's go for our next competitor in the person of Muhammad bin Adam from Ghana.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم ومما أخرجنا لكم من الأرض ولا تيمموا الخبيث منه تنفقون ولستم بآخذيه إلا أن تغمدوا فيه واعلموا أن الله غني حميد الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا والله واسع عليم يؤتي الحكمة من يشاء ومن يؤت الحكمة فقد أوتي خيرا كثيرا وما يذكر إلا أولو الألباب.
MashaAllah, another beautiful presentation of the Quran, the word of Allah from Muhammad bin Adam. And I noticed he had a very long breath, making very good use of that. But let me start with Hafiz Ismail Sahib. You know, what's your comment on him?
I think it was a good recitation, a bit different from his earlier recitation. He picked up some speed this time, so the speed also was beautifully translated, you know, into the way he did his mudud, for instance, the prolongations. So we have tahqiq, we have tadwir, we have hadar in terms of the speed.
Yes.
Tahqiq being the slowest and hadar being the fastest. Now he was a bit in the middle, and then because of that, even his mudud jaiza, the voluntary prolongations, he wasn't taking them.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
MashaAllah. Let me come to Hafiz Yunus Sahib.
MashaAllah, alhamdulillah, a very sonorous recitation and beautiful pronunciation of the letters. In his in Al-Fahsha, the pause on the Hamza was not properly observed or applied. Hamza is a letter, is a harfun halqi, a letter that comes from the throat, the farthest part of the throat. We have three stages, or let me say 3 parts in our throat. So down there, we have Hamza and Ha. So when you are stopping on it, actually, it takes a very meticulous effort to know whether the person stops properly or not, because there has to be a sort of a catch at the end to indicate that he has paused on Hamza. So which I expect him to properly apply next time, inshallah. But it's a beautiful recitation, I must say.
So, Muhammad bin Adam, if you're watching, you should improve on how you end on your Hamza. Let us go on for our next competitor, the 5th competitor for the day, and that will come from Idris Basiriyu. Idris Basiriyu is from Nigeria.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا.
MashaAllah. Today is indeed just a manifestation of the beauty of the Holy Quran again and again, anytime we take an entry. Hafiz Khalik Bashir Sahib.
MashaAllah, very nice melody. But I want to draw the attention regarding two letters. In A'uzu, Ain was not very well pronounced, and the same way when he make his voice high, Yursil is Sama. So, in that raw letter, raw, Yursil, it was not very well pronounced, that letter raw.
It was rushed through.
Yeah.
Yes, Hafiz Sahib.
Well, I want to commend the reciter. He really did well. His technique of raising his pitch and bringing it down towards the end was really on point. Except that I had an observation with the way he did the qalqala of Sab'a Samawat. It went more into kasra, as if he was saying Sab'i Samawat rather. It came as Sab'i, Sab'i. And that's just something for him to take notes here.
All right, all right. So I believe he's watching and he's taking note about that. That is Idris Basiriyu from Nigeria. But then let us go for our next competitor. But viewers, I noticed that we had to place a call as well to one of our judges. He's been on this program before and is judged, especially during our last competition. And so we will pause the competition and we'll go over to him to pick up some observations he has, how he feels about the competition and so on. So we will go over to Ustaz Abdullah Ahmad. Ustaz Abdullah Ahmad is from Nigeria, and we will hear over what he has concerning this competition, and we'll come back for the rest of the entry. So Ustaz Abdullah Ahmad, if you can hear me, I believe you can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praises and adorations belongs to Allah, the Lord of the entire universe. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Preparing for a competition requires a lot of efforts, in which I believe the spiritual preparation to be the integral part of it. And second to that is taking cognizance of tatbiqul huruf, that is the pronunciation of alphabets from their original point of articulation, which is also known to be إعطاء كل حرف حقه ومستحقه من الصفات والمدود وغير ذلك. But unfortunately, some reciters and competitors have allowed the intonation to take over that of spiritual benefit. But nevertheless, a prospective qari is highly expected to take some things into consideration in order not to fall victim. So one of them is dedication. That is, it is expected of a qari or a fellow brother who is preparing for a competition to dedicate a sufficient time each day for reciting the Holy Quran or for a competition, which is also expected to foster a very deep spiritual connection with Allah's word through his continuous studying of the Holy Quran, and by also contemplating while reciting or while preparing. Also, by doing so, the contestant will, by this, be able to refine his pronunciation, intonation, and as well nahum. So all these, of course, when they are performed, will definitely boost the competitor's self-confidence, the reciter's self-confidence during the competition, and reduces anxiety, if not to zero level. And by doing so, the competitor or the reciter will definitely be able to recite or perform in any competition at its best.
Jazakumullah ahsan al-jaza, Ustaz Abdullah Ahmed. And like I said, he was on this program as a judge, in the last competition. And we miss him so much. We hope that inshallah, in the future, he will be with us once again. But we're very grateful to you, Ustaz Abdullah Ahmed Sahib, for your contribution to the program. We're grateful. Viewers, let us proceed with the competition, and our next competitor is in the person of Hafiz Habibullah Adeyemi, who is also competing from Ghana. Let's take a listen.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا
Jazakumullahu khairan. Another beautiful rendering of the word of Allah from Hafiz Habibullah Adeyemi, who is competing from Ghana. Let me cross over to the judges just for a brief comment from Hafiz Yunus Sahib. How did Hafiz Habibullah do?
MashaAllah, Hafiz Habibullah Adeyemi Sahib brought a very beautiful recitation for us, and may Allah the Almighty bless him abundantly. Let me quickly point out that when he began the first verse he recited there was a waqfu, a stop. He observed, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. Of course, grammatically, فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ is meaningful. That is, and I say, seek the forgiveness of your Lord. إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. He is forgiving God. But this waqfu may not be necessary. You should have just read at a go. فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ غَفَّارًا. In recitation, we have al-waslu. When al-waslu becomes awla, and when al-waqfu becomes awla. The first one, al-waslu awla, means to continue without stopping should be prioritized. And in some other cases, we have al-waqfu awla. To stop is better than continue. In this case, al-waslu is awla. Continuing without stopping should be prioritized. And secondly is kaifa khalaqallahu sab'a samawati tibaqa. That kaif, also the application of a letter lin there, that is ya sukun, was not properly pronounced. But it's a beautiful recitation, I must say.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Hafiz Ismail Sahib, I can see you nodding your head. I don't know whether it's out of enjoyment of the recitation or in agreement with what Hafiz Sahib was just making.
I'm in agreement with what he's saying, and I'm enjoying the entries coming this time. It is a significant improvement.
MashaAllah. So I believe, Hafiz, Habibullah, if you're listening, you should note your wuquf, your stoppings. If you should learn more about that and apply them as well. Also, your harful lean. Make sure you observe that properly next time. But let's proceed for our next entry for today, and that is coming again from Nigeria for Munir Taiwo Ahmed Sahib.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم ومما أخرجنا لكم من الأرض ولا تيمموا الخبيث منه تنفقون ولستم بآخذيه إلا أن تغمضوا فيه واعلموا أن الله غني حميد الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا والله واسع عليم يؤتي الحكمة من يشاء ومن يؤت الحكمة فقد أوتي خيرا كثيرا وما يذكر إلا أولو الألباب.
Jazakumullahu khairan, Munir Taiwo Sahib. And that is yet again a beautiful rendering of the Holy Quran. Let me go over to Hafiz Ismail Sahib. What are your comments?
Yes, it was a beautiful recitation. I commend him for the good work done. I observed that in Maghfiratan Minhu, he was a bit confused as to whether to do ikhfa or idgham. So it turned out to be ikhfa in the beginning and then idgham at the end. So it went something like maghfiratan tang. So when nun gunna, nun with the sukun, nun sakina comes, and after that you have mim. It goes into it.
Yes.
It goes into it, and
merges.
so it merges. So that is supposed to be maghfiratan minhu. And that was one observation. Also, his tahqiq, Hamza, as my brother mentioned earlier on, so I'm not going to go over it all over again, but the way he stopped on Yasha, that Hamza was not properly, dealt with. And the madda there also is wajib, yes. He shortened it very quickly. Yasha and Fahsha, both of them.
Nevertheless, I saw Hafiz Khaliq Saab enjoy the recitation. Just briefly, what are your observations?
The melody, mashallah, is very nice, but as Hafiz Sahib has mentioned, I have also observed the same mistakes. And in Fazla, it is harf madda, but it was not prolonged well. And the same way, anfiqu, in this, the qaf, letter qaf was not very well pronounced.
Okay. Jazakumullahu khairan to our, our judges search so deep. They stoop so deep, into the bottom and bring out where there are little minor mistakes for us to learn. And that is the purpose of the program. Viewers, let us take our next competitor, and that is from Olanrewaju Abdul Wadud from Nigeria.
الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Jazakallahu khairan, Olanrewaju Sahib. He is a very young brother, MashaAllah, and he has a beautiful voice, beautiful recitation of the Holy Quran. But just how beautiful is it, Hafiz Yunus Sahib?
MashaAllah, of course, it's a beautiful, and for him to have come this far, it's an indication of the beauty of his recitation. Quickly, in his pronunciation of the same again, ya in Ashaitan, instead of Ashai, say Ashai, you should also correct that. And also the letter sin in Sab'a Samawat, the sin Fatha Sa should be sin Fatha Sa, not Se. There was a sort of inclination to E. So you should take note of that.
MashaAllah. Hafiz Khaliq Sahib.
As my brother mentioned that the recitation is very good. So inshallah, I hope he will improve as he is in learning process.
Yes.
So that's all from me.
Inshallah, inshallah, he will improve. But Hafiz Ismail Sahib.
Yes, I side with my co-judges in commending him. I observed that, again, this came in the previous episodes, Ikhfa Shafawi. After Mim Sakena Yumdidukum, there is Ba. Ba is coming. These two huruf Shafawiya, they are pronounced, the point of articulation is the lips. So Ba and Mim, you see that both are from the lips. When they come together like that, you do ikhfa of the meme. The meme is kind of submerged, but you don't submerge it like fully such that there is no meme at all.
Yes.
Neither do you pronounce it fully as meme.
Yes.
So the shuyukh, they say that you have a slight touch. The lips have to have a slight touch when pronouncing the meme, and then you stay on it and then pronounce the ba. I think there was just a little more to do on that to be desired. Also, I don't know if you observed it, but he started from Yursili Sama instead of فَقُلْتُ اسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ, which was, I think, what I've seen all the other participants starting from. It means he didn't take note of where he was supposed to start. And going forward, I think he should take note of that.
That is very important. The verses were giving out, and so he should have, stuck to the instructions. But we hope that despite these comments, he's able to work harder and then move to the final stage. Jazakallah once again to Olan Rewojo Abdul Wadud. Let us take our next entry, and that is from Abdul Basit Babarinde, who is competing from Ghana.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا.
Allah is the greatest. When you hear the word of Allah, like I said earlier on, it's like a medicine that gives solace to the soul. That is just what I felt from the rendering of Abdul Basit Babarinde, who is competing from Ghana. That is a beautiful recitation. But mind you, viewers, I am not the judge. So let me cross over to the judges to tell us how beautiful it really was. And this time I'll start from Hafiz Khalik Bashir Sahib.
MashaAllah, very well recited. In the start, the first word of the second verse, Yur Silis, the raw was not very well pronounced, so it was not very clear. And afterwards, Vayum Didukum. Once when he read Vayum Didukum, it was overstressed, this dal, when it is qalqala, but when he read Vayum Didukum, so it was somehow overstressed, it is Vayum Didukum.
Okay. So you overstress your qalqala, and you should note Yursil Sama also, how you pronounce Ra. You should improve these going forward. Let us come to Hafiz Ismail Ahmed Edusei.
Yes, my commendations to Hafiz Babarinde Sahib. He did a very good job. I observed that he spent a little too much time. He overpronounced the shadda on the wa of medararun wa yumdidukum. He took it was a bit over exaggerated, which is not recommended by the ulama of tajweed. That you go over it. In fact, if it is noon and mim mushaddada,
Yes.
you can spend some time on it. But wa medararan wa, it took him too much time. He dwelt on it too much. Also, I realized that ma lakum la tarjuna. He started pronouncing the mim before. Mim is shafawi, as I mentioned. So the point of articulation is the lips. So it goes like ma from the lips, then it opens. But he started from somewhere and then came as if there's a jasm on the mim before he opened it. So it went like ma. That he has to take note of.
Viewers, I was telling you that I am not the judge. It was beautiful to me, and I was just making my own observation. But when the judges speak, you see the difference. You realize that we have so much more to learn as far as the reading, correct recital of the Holy Quran is concerned. Hafiz Yunus Sahib, just briefly.
Mashallah, much have been said by my colleagues here, and they are all, the bottom line is that it's a commendation of his beautiful recitation. It was, in terms of tazayyun, salt, an application of guna, I think he tried in that aspect, giving us a very melodious recitation that can transport one to the ecstasy of high heaven ecstasy. So I think that must be given to him. I pray Allah continue to bless him, and he should also take note of the corrections.
MashaAllah. So Hafiz Babarinde Sahib, there are positive comments as well. Let's pray that you qualify into the next stage, into the final, inshallah. Let us take our next competitor for today's semi-final. And that will come from Kolipe Al-Amin from Nigeria.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا ألم تروا كيف خلق الله سبع سماوات طباقا.
MashaAllah, another beautiful recitation from Kolipe Al-Amin from Nigeria. And he is the last, but of course not least, competitor for today's semi-final. Viewers, let us take a video, a short video, that will be highlighting the translations of the Holy Quran done by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Then we'll come back to the studio and see if the results are ready. Then we will present the 5 finalists who have qualified into the final. So let's take a watch of the video and we'll be back shortly to the studio.
In the name of Allah, most gracious, ever merciful. More than 1 billion Muslims around the world recite the Quran and take in its teachings in their own languages.
Nami nasoma Quran tukufu pamoja na tafsiri yake kwa Kiswahili. Na hii ni tafsiri ya Quran tukufu iliyofanywa na Jumuiya ya Waislamu wa Ahmadiyya.
Вот этот Коран на русском языке, который мы читаем, musulmanes Ahmadí, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Este es el Corán en su versión traducida por la comunidad o su interpretación dada por la comunidad. Lo cual vendría a significar di Él es Alá el único.
Na wale waliohama kwa ajili ya Mwenyezi Mungu.
Эти слова означают, что ни одну часть своей жизни человек.
One of the purposes of coming of the promised Messiah ﷺ was to establish the supremacy of the Holy Quran in the world.
Islam Ahmadiyyat has been at the forefront of this divine effort, often being the first community to translate the Quran into many languages.
The full Holy Quran has been translated into 75 languages and has been printed into those languages.
These holy books are sent to all parts of the world from the stores at Tahir House in London, where they house almost all the translations of the Holy Quran.
इस वक्त यहाँ हम ताहिर हाउस के वेयर हाउस में मौजूद हैं, जहाँ कुरान करीम के मुख्तलिफ़ ज़ुबानों के तराजम स्टॉक किए जाते हैं और मुतअद्दिद ममालिक को भेजे जाते हैं। मिसाल के तौर पर इस वक्त यहाँ चाइनीज़ ज़ुबान का तर्जुमा ऊपर स्टॉक हुआ है। इस वक्त मेरे सामने असांते ज़ुबान का तर्जुमा मौजूद है। इसके अलावा यहाँ जापानीज़ तर्जुमा मौजूद है। इंडिया की मुख्तलिफ़ इलाकाई ज़ुबानों के तराजम भी यहाँ मौजूद हैं। ये भी एक और अफ्रीका की ज़ुबान है, मंडिका।
In the beginning, it was believed by various Muslims that the Holy Quran must not be translated into any other language. But this was the Jamaat which took this challenge, and we tried our best to translate the Holy Quran into different languages of the world. We try our best to have the translation of the Holy Quran done in various languages in different countries. And after that, we very carefully check it and review it. And when we are convinced and we are satisfied that the translation is correct, then and then only it is being published.
The result of all this is that it enriches the lives of millions around the world.
Tafsiri hii ilikuwa ya kwanza kabisa kuchapishwa na kuenezwa na Waislamu. Pia yalidhihirisha na kuthibitisha ubora wa dini tukufu ya Kiislamu juu ya dini zingine zote.
Прочитав Ахмадийский Коран, я увидел совершенное ясное понимание, объяснение этих аятов, что ни один аят не был отменен Аллахом, альхамдулиллахи, и что в этих аятах скрыто очень большой смысл.
Incluso hay comentarios que no son simplemente una bajada de opinión o algo por el estilo, sino que por el contrario concientizan al lector sobre las palabras que se están traduciendo en el árabe y su aplicación contextual.
You're welcome back, dear cherished viewers. And at long last, the battle has ended. This wasn't a battle between evil and good. This was a battle between good and good. We're just looking for the most good among 10 good. And finally, the judges have spoken. And according to the judges, unanimously, the 5 who have qualified into the final of this blessed competition are: number 1, Idris Zafrullah from Nigeria. Number 2, Alimi Taslim Ayomide from Nigeria. Number 3, Muhammad bin Adam from Ghana. Number 4, Hafiz Habibullah Adeyemi from Ghana. And number 5, Abdul Basit Babarinde from Ghana. Viewers, these are the 5 who have qualified for the final, which will be coming to your screens the next Sunday. That will be on the 7th of April 2024. We cannot say thank you enough to our indefatigable judges who have done so much to make this a success. We say Jazakumullahu Ahsan al-Jaza to our judges, and we continue to count on them for the final episode of this program. At this juncture, viewers, we are grateful that you have also been with us, and we hope that you have learned a few rules here and there as far as the recitation of the Holy Quran is concerned. We hope you will be with us when we bring you the final of the 4th All-African Quran Competition 2024. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.